And I have this argument with my friends all the time, and they're like, Tony, why don't you have the $10 million house? Why do you have, you have the $1.5 million house here, you have the $1 million house over here? And I said, because I'm not using the house as an asset. If I'm not doing events, I'm not doing things that the house generates money, generates income, then it's a liability. The cars are assets because I go out and network. And with the cars, I get to meet other business-minded people, and these cars make me more money, so they pay for themselves 10 times. I bought that Aventador behind you for 180 grand.
What? That's such a steal.
For real.
It's not common knowledge to know that. To be able to see a car like this scale and have those problems, 99% of people don't even know how to touch this damn thing.
Okay, am I going to take the biggest gamble of my life and see if I can do this full time? I quit my job, I did it full time, took the biggest risk of my life, but I said, I'm going to make it successful no matter what. I was working 14, 15 hours days, but in the first year, I made my first $1 million doing that. And it's like, oh, I failed. Well, if you never quit, you never fail.
Okay, very true. Are people joining without automotive experience?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Like we're talking
nothing. Well, dude, and then I talk about it, and I hate to be like, women have a greater chance of being greater success right off of the bat because this is a male-dominant industry. So where you make the most amount of money in this program is dealer accounts. Well, what are most dealerships made up of? Is 90% men. So if, a beautiful woman walks in and says, hey, what are you doing with your wholesale trades? They're more likely to have someone engage them and talk to them with it, where you and me go and knock on that door, we're going to have one at 10 talk 100%. To us, because they're going to be like, oh, I don't have time for you.
Right.
So, but anyone can do it. It's just, are you going to put your time into it? It's like anything else. You can be successful at anything. That's why I tell people, find something you're interested in, you're passionate about, so then it's not work.
Dude, you're like a walking fucking quote book. We have a little bit of a formal introduction. What's up, everybody? We're Supercar Connection back. We are somewhere deep in the Orange County area with Tony Nino from Straightup Driven. Tony, say what's up to everybody.
What's going on, everyone? Thank you for having me.
Straightup Driven. What is Straightup Driven?
So Straightup Driven started as a lifestyle brand, so it's SD with the up arrow, all value back to God, sky's the limit, we grow together, because there's nothing more valuable than relationships and people. With the right people, you can build anything, and the sky's the limit.
Simple enough.
Very simple enough. I'm telling you, you're like a walking quote book, bro. I love it. I literally love it so much.
I appreciate it.
Tell us about Straightup Driven, the whole thing from start to finish. How did it become what it is today? The basis of it.
Straightup Driven is something that my entire life was, when I was growing up, it was, you want to fight me? Let's fight straight up. You want to race me? Let's race straight up. Everything was straight up. And then, drive and determination in anything in life to be successful, and no matter what you're trying to do. So for me, it's always been a lifestyle to live by. So I said, let's make it a brand, Straightup Driven. You're either, you're either driven or you're not.
You're either about it or you're not about it. It's that simple.
So how'd you end up in this car world?
You know what? That's a long story, but I've loved cars my entire life, and I had a regular 9-to-5 job. I didn't have all of this in the beginning. And unfortunately, I talk about it a little bit in some other interviews and things of that nature. I mean, my car education came from making mistakes like a lot of us do, So at a young age, I was stealing cars and stripping cars, and that's where my car education came from,
What's young age? How old?
I mean, I was stealing cars at 16 years old because I wanted, I was heavy into performance cars. My first car was an 89 Oldsmobile Cutlass, Grandma Gold. And my friends are going out to the street races in their Civics and their Acuras, and I wanted success at any cost. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to go after it the easy way. And unfortunately, the easy way is the illegal way. And then I learned a hard lesson, and someone ratted me out. I ended up spending a little time locked up. And then I decided that when I rebuild it, instead of losing everything, I'm going to rebuild it the right way to where no one can take it away from me.
Fuck yeah. How does one even learn to be able to do something like that at 16? You have to have some type of automotive experience to be able to know how to even manipulate a car like that. So your automotive experience has to go back to when you were like a child.
Well, my dad was always into cars, but classic cars. And, I'd see him work on some cars and I'd help. And then I've always loved cars. It's like, I had a dream car. I didn't have a dream house. It was always cars, cars, cars. I want to have this, The 1993 to 98 Toyota Supra, the MK4, was always my dream car. And, I want to get this. And it's, cars, if you have a goal, then you're willing to do anything to get to that goal. And cars is just something like, I talk about it a little bit, is Cars are typically our second biggest asset that we purchase in our life other than a house, but not everyone's going to purchase a house in their life. So then having the right car, and why wouldn't you spend and have a nicer car than a nicer house? You spend more time in your car than you do your house.
True.
And the car is a networking tool. When we meet people, there's three things that they look at. They look at what kind of shoes we're wearing, we're looking at what kind of watch we're wearing, and they're looking at what kind of car we're driving. And that's how they decide if, who we are and if they want to do business with us.
5 seconds.
How did I present today? Okay.
You look good.
Appreciate
Well, I dress homeless, I dress homeless, but I make sure I'm wearing a nice watch, some comfortable shoes, and a nice car.
That's the way to be. Neutral, nice watch, nice car. That's it. Because then it's saying like, these are the things that I like to actually present myself with, rather than all the bullshit, fake shit that everyone else has.
Gold
all
AP
the time.
it's okay. It's
Maybe
not
it's
bad.
okay.
Gold AP, the
Frosted.
chronograph. It's all right. It's all right.
It's okay. Well, I mean, a lot of my friends will tell you I'm one of the cheapest people you will ever meet. Like I look at everything as an investment. So I have to buy it at the right price. So this watch right here, I bought it at the right price. It's almost doubled in value from what I paid for it. I take it personal that if I buy something, I lose money on it. So I'm very thrifty when I shop.
You know how I know you're wired like that? You use the word asset when you said car. 99% of people would not have used the word asset. They would have said the car is a thing you purchase, a liability, whatever, but you specifically chose the word asset. So that's how I know your purchase. Everybody doesn't realize you make your money on anything, whether it's real estate, watches, or cars, on when you buy,
Right.
how you bought it. That's
Right.
literally can change the game. So the fact that you use the word asset, I immediately knew exactly how your brain is wired.
Absolutely.
That should show everybody that's watching this exactly how he's wired, solely based on that verbiage.
Well, it's like we're sitting in, one building of many, God bless, but we're sitting in $60 million of commercial real estate. And I have this argument with my friends all the time, and they're like, Tony, why don't you have the $10 million house? Why do you have, you have the $1.5 million house here, you have the $1 million house over here? And I said, because I'm not using the house as an asset. If I'm not doing events, I'm not doing things that the house generates money, generates income, then it's a liability. The cars are assets because I go out and network. And with the cars, I get to meet other business-minded people. And these cars make me more money, so they pay for themselves 10 times.
Very much so, just indirectly.
Yeah. You got to use it that way, though.
Absolutely.
Plenty of people have the cars and don't know how to properly use it to network and meet people.
Everything's a tool. Literally, from exactly like you said, like the watch. I remember we were having this conversation when we first started. We were like, all right, how can we put ourselves in a good light? How can we do this and that? And we're like, all right, man, we need to level up this side of the game. So we're like, let's go out and get some nicer cars, maybe get some nicer watches, just so we can put ourselves in the right position. Because like you said, instantaneously you make a decision on somebody based on those three things. Granted, everything comes within relativity, because at the same time, I can see somebody that has none of that and not even know their background. They could be something absolutely ridiculous. But it's incorrect to say that you don't at least pick somebody off a little bit like that. I do that shit all the time. I look at those three things exactly like you said, and I kind of gauge how I'm going to talk to that person, at least initially. And then if they open up to me and I go, okay, this is somebody that I can actually talk to a little bit more, then it develops from there.
Absolutely.
From that point.
Absolutely. I can't agree more.
I don't know, man. You can talk to anyone.
You think so?
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
I just talk to everybody. I mean, I kind of go off on too many rants when I go to talking to people. But one thing I wanted to touch on, you said $60 million worth of commercial space. Where the hell are we sitting at right now? What is all this shit?
So we're sitting at Straightup Driven headquarters, which is one of the buildings, but then also City Collision Center. So City Collision Center is one of the largest body shops in Orange County. And we talk, it's one of my key rules. Your network is your net worth. And through relationships, so the partners that I have here, we partnered probably about 16 years ago, and we grew it to this incredible business. And, through relationships, anything's possible. I talk about it. I don't care about the cars. I don't care about the watches. I don't care about the houses. Like, with the right people, we can build anything, and you can rebuild it. I wish I would have put more value in people when I was younger, because I would be in a way better position currently. I'm in a great position, God bless. But people are what makes businesses successful. It's people that make people successful. So I value people more than anything else now.
So the collision center, that's where most of the business runs right now?
No, the collision center is, steady money. It's been around for a long time, but the automotive wholesale, so Straightup Driven Success is my new focus, and why it's probably one of my most passionate projects. I've had over 28 businesses that I've been fortunate enough to be a part of, but this one I'm the most passionate about because I'm helping others while making money at the same time. And I'm helping change people's futures. They're going to put in the work, but I'm giving them the platform to do it. And I just got tired, there's a lot of real programs out there. I don't talk bad about anybody, but there's a lot of programs out there that gatekeep their information and charge their members tens of thousands of dollars, and then they just provide them information, but not a way to make money. So our program, Straightup Driven Success, that we're getting ready to do a full launch on here very soon, is the first and only mentorship program in the world where you use our money to make money.
So, wow, that's a concept. You said to use our money to make money?
Use our money to make money, absolutely, 100%.
So how does that actually work?
Well, we all know, right? It takes money to make money.
For sure.
And having the opportunity, so cars, there's a lot of dealers. I'm fortunate enough to have some of my current members here with us today. But as they'll be able to tell you is you're only as good as the budget you have. When I first got started, I was working at TaylorMade Golf, working a regular 9 to 5. I would buy cars off of Craigslist with the check engine light and then fix it up, turn around and sell it, make $500, make $1,000, $1,500. I was doing 1 car a month, 2 cars a month, 3 cars a month. And then finally it was like, wow, okay, am I going to take the biggest gamble of my life and see if I can do this full time? I quit my job, I did it full time, took the biggest risk of my life, but I said, I'm going to make it successful no matter what. I was working 14, 15 hours days, but in the first year I made my first $1 million doing that. But it's taking the chance.
First year
I made my first $1 million.
That's a lot of hustle. That's a lot of hustle.
I had to cut you off because you were about to just like glaze right over that one. And that's pretty wild.
What year was this? What time is this?
Wow.
You're talking about starting
Don't
out
date
making
yourself. Don't
making
date
Don't date
500.
myself.
Don't date yourself. Don't date yourself.
We're talking over 15 years ago.
Okay.
Oh, so we'll say over. I won't give you the exact.
Give or take. Give or take.
But-
So when you say wholesaling cars,
Yeah.
what is the simplified explanation of that?
Wow. I don't know if there's a simplified explanation, but it's buying a vehicle and selling it for more than what you purchased it for. And the greatest. There's 100 different ways to make money in the car industry, but the greatest money maker is buying cars from the consumer, private party sellers, because they don't know what their car is worth. And there's big companies, again, I'm not going to badmouth them if you guys want to say them.
No, never.
But there's big companies out there that make billions of dollars a year buying cars undervalued. And I want to be transparent with the community and let them know we're paying them a competitive price for their vehicle. We tell them 8 out of 10 times we'll beat any of our competitors' offer. We have one of the fastest inspection processes in the industry, and we can pay you more, we can pay you faster than our competitors. And we stand behind it. If you take your car to X, franchise, big, whatever store, if you have a payoff on your car, let's say that your payoff is $15,000, but they're paying you $20,000, you have $5,000 in equity. They're not going to pay you your $5,000 equity check until your payoff is completed, which can take 7 days, can take 10 days. Well, we're self-funded. We pay you your equity the same day. We're one of the only companies that do that, so we can pay you faster than our competitors.
Can I ask how you're able to pay more than everyone else but still make money
Absolutely.
from selling the cars?
Absolutely.
You just have less overhead in the business, or?
It's like anything else. Is in the reconditioning. Okay, perfect example. This is how I go out and land dealer accounts. So I have a current dealer account that I won't mention, but it's a Range Rover store. Okay, franchise Range Rover store. He put a Range Rover through his shop. His shop bill to fix that car was $18,000. Or our reconditioning facility, I can fix that same car. I fixed it for $6,200. So by getting good and developing your network of people, paint, body, everything else, the cars that I'm buying and flipping, I'm not fixing them here in City Collision Center. Lifetime warranty, the highest cloud paint, everything else. No, we're going to fix it cheap, quality work. It's one of my favorite things to say. You can have fast, you can have cheap, and you can have good. You can't have all three, so pick 2, right? So if you want it fast and cheap, it's not going to be good. You want it good and fast, it's not going to be cheap. So I decide it's all in the purchase and then the reconditioning. So if you can fix it cheaper than everybody else, then your profit's there.
So you're cheap and good and you sacrifice fast?
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely.
You go a little slower, but it's cheap and it's good, and then you flip it and make some cash.
We bought a Chevy Equinox. One of my members just bought it. MMR on it was Manheim Market Report Value. We're partnered with the largest auction company in the world, Manheim. So we run our cars every single week, several Manheim locations. And like I stated earlier, when I got started, I was doing 1 cars, 2 cars a month. Now I do 400 to 600 cars per month.
400 to 600 cars per month?
You're buying cars private party, cleaning them up a little bit and running them through Manheim.
That's one aspect of the business, yes.
What is Manheim?
So Manheim's the largest auction company in the world, and they're also own Cox Automotive. They own Kelley Blue Book, so they have a monopoly on the car industry. You couldn't have a better partner in the car business.
Have you been to a Manheim auction?
I have not.
It's chaos.
Have you been to one?
Yeah, I've been to a couple.
Wow. Which auction have you been to?
It's wild. There was one out in like Temecula.
Okay.
I think that was a CarMax.
Yeah, CarMax
actually.
has their biggest auction in Temecula.
But the Manheim one was it was like 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
It was like 2019, I think, 2018. Just out like south of West Covina area.
Okay.
I feel like just out in the middle of nowhere, kind of.
Probably farther in the middle of fucking nowhere, but yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
DFE or something
But huge
like
center, like ridiculous, like 30 lanes or something like that. It was
Yeah.
massive.
A lot.
We're using the term auction a lot right now. For anybody that doesn't know what it is, what exactly are we talking about? The auction. What is
So auction, this is a deal. Manheim's a dealer-only auction, so it's where dealers go to sell their wholesale inventory, and I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's where dealers buy the cars at a discounted price before they mark them up and they sell them to the public. So it's a dealer-only auction to where you can get retailable inventory before you retail it at your dealership.
How much of it is just stuff that other dealers couldn't sell though? And now it's at the auction.
It's a smaller percentage. Typically, I'd say maybe 20% is aged inventory because a lot of these dealerships are on flooring lines. So if they can't sell the car 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, they have per diems that they have to pay, and it gets expensive. So they'll typically.
we were talking about this and like the other day, and I said there's a word for like the interest that you garner on a floor line, and I couldn't remember the damn word.
Per diem.
Per diem. Sorry.
Per diem.
Sorry, you just
You're good.
sparked like a 2-day name.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But no, and it's
Next is the pink pills. That'll come to you in 3 days. Text me when it hits you.
It came to me already. I just haven't said it.
Wait. I got you covered there too. I got you covered.
Go ahead. Finish.
But no, with the auctions, it's just, it's a way to turn inventory. But it's also, dealers try to keep as much as they can because where they make their money is retail. But if the car's too expensive to recondition through their shop, then it'll go to the auction. And like I said, with wholesalers like myself that have really developed their reconditioning facilities, the cheaper we can fix the car, the more profit that's in it for us for the cars. And dealers love us because if we can fix it cheaper and we can bring it back to the dealer auction, now it's fixed to where they can retail it, they can rebuy it again.
At the auction.
At the auction.
So you're telling me you're taking cars to the auction where the dealers normally get their deals from. You're grabbing them cheaper than that initial price and making money on the spread there?
Well, there's 100 different ways to make money in this business. But so one is the most
We've
profitable.
covered 2 of them now.
All right, so the most profitable is buying cars from the public and then reconditioning them, and then they get a grade, 0 to 5.0, 5.0 being perfect. The higher the grade, the more money the car is going to bring.
Who's grading these things?
It's called a condition report, and it's a third-party company that does these condition reports.
Mine
At
was
the
bad.
auction?
At the auction, or if you do enough volume, they'll do it at your individual facility, so they do it at one of our facilities.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So then based on that number, when it hits the auction, people can, because I imagine, like, what's the information you're seeing? Walk me through an auction day. You're talking about it's madness. I've never been to one. So what the hell are we talking about here?
So, literally on Tuesday, there'll be 2,600 cars that run through the lane in one day. So there's 13 lanes running at Manheim Riverside, where we run our cars every Tuesday.
That's where it was.
Riverside?
Riverside,
So
yep.
Riverside is the biggest auction in California, and it's the largest Highline sale in California. So they do the Highline twice a month there at Riverside. So that's typically your cars that are all 2021 and newer, or your exotic cars and cars that are worth over $100,000.
At that auction specifically?
At that auction. So you literally, typically how it works is you're going to look at the list. If you're trying to buy cars, you're going to look at the inventory and you're going to make a target list. And then you're running between 13 lanes to catch that car because, okay, at lane number 3, car number 52, well, then if you're also watching lane number 6, car number 80, you got to run between what number they're at on each lane, and you better have your homework done. This is the earliest mistake new dealers make, is they don't do their homework and they don't have a set price. So then they make an emotional decision buying a car in a lane, and that's when they pay too much and then they lose money. Have a set number, do your homework early so you can make a decision on the fly, and then, with that figured in, your profit's already there, you're going to be profitable.
You're telling me people bring emotions into business?
Oh, just a little bit.
Just a little bit? I couldn't imagine how someone could do that.
Do you use the little scan app? Where you
I do.
scan the little thing on the window or whatever, and then it pulls up the car and the values and blah, 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 blah.
I do. There's
remember.
100 different ones out there. The free advice right here is AutoNeek makes the best scan tool out there for a dealer. Within one scan, it gives you the wholesale lending value, it gives you the Carfax, it gives you the auto check, it gives me the MMR, and it gives me a retail index of what those cars are selling for within a 70-mile radius.
Holy crap, that's a lot of information.
And Tony owns it. That's the
I
coolest
don't know that. I wish I did. I wish I did.
How quick does a car go on auction? Like when you're saying it hits the lane, how quickly is it in the lane? Is that the right question to ask?
So when a car rolls up to the block, it takes them, each car, it takes them probably about a minute to 2.5 minutes. If they're getting a lot of bids, it'll run a little longer. But I mean, as quick as a minute. I mean, they start the auction at 9 a.m. and it's typically over by 1 o'clock. And we're talking 2,600 cars.
Fuck, they got to run through a lot of shit then.
It's wild.
Is that only in person, or there's people online bidding
People
on the same
online.
cars?
People online.
That are online as well. So like,
doing the same thing you're doing there physically.
Yeah.
well, we have a lot of.
So little screen up on the lane, showing the bid, all that stuff.
We have to go to an auction. I'll take you guys to an
Yes.
auction.
Done. We're going.
Yeah, we'll do it. But like literally a lot of dealers, out-of-state dealers want to buy California cars because we don't have snow, we don't have rust. So it's a better quality car and it's going to bring more
all that
money.
Stuff like that too. I can imagine. I never
Small
even thought of that.
compliant.
Normally.
That's where like any of our smog issue cars, I run in a lane in Vegas because, you know, it's going to bring more money than, you know, you need to do a catalytic converter here in California. You're talking thousands of dollars. I go out there.
Madness.
Yeah.
There's no
So-
point.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
They don't care.
Well, and that's
Then
where
it's a Reno.
that's where the money is in this business, is developing your niche. You know, like I mentioned earlier, like I made $1 million my first year. Well, how I did it is I said, okay, I got to think outside the box. There's thousands of people going to the local auction trying to buy cars. So I said, how can I have a niche and make more money? And I said, well, I'm going to go to snowy Utah, Chicago during the first snowy seasons. And what can I buy? I can buy two-wheel drives and I can buy convertibles cheaper there because nobody can drive them. And then I'm going to trailer them back to California. So I got a truck and a trailer, 4-car hauler. I go to Utah, I go to Chicago. I would sleep in the back seat of my truck, buy 4 cars at a time, increase my profit margins $3,000 to $5,000 a car. Every truckload home was 20 to 25 grand. As fast as I could turn around and do trips, and that's how you make $1 million.
So you're literally dropping and like, oh, let's go back.
I'm going back because
I need
we're
another 20
selling them
G's.
instead, because literally the auction does it for you after that. You get it in, you get a CR, you get a lane placement, then you're selling cars, you're rotating the money. That's the one thing I love about this business. Like I said, I've done a lot of businesses, but typically I can rotate the same money at least 2 to 4 times a month. And I know no other business in the world that you can do that in.
That's crazy. Then you're just using some geographical arbitrage to find the right cars. That's actually when I went to the auction. It was one of my buddies. His dad owns a used car dealer up in Washington, and he was visiting me. So his dad sent him to the auctions down here to go check it out. And he was looking for mostly all-wheel drive cars because they'll go more up there than they usually do down here, because here most people don't need that unless you're going to Big Bear. But, yeah, so that was kind of like, that's what he was doing down here. I think he only bought 1 car though, but interesting experience. It was fun.
Well, we're going to have to go do it. We'll go buy some cars one day.
You
I'll
bet
give you
your
guys a target list, and you guys just go out there and throw your hands up.
You bet your ass we're going to do it. So I 100%, we were definitely going to. I can't wait for that day.
Do you do much of the Highline these days, or do you stick with volume?
I do Highline, but like I have a set script, and that's where I'm very disciplined, and that's where a lot of my success comes from. So on average, I want to make 7 to 10%. So will I buy, you know, a $300,000 Lamborghini? Absolutely. But if I'm buying, I tell people, don't measure your manhood with my money, right? So like if you're going to go buy a $100,000 car, we want to make 7 to 10 grand on it. Because otherwise we can buy that $30,000 car and make $3,000 to $5,000. You know what I'm saying? So we can do more volume, and then it's also how long does it tie up the money? If people have a title, we don't need to make as much money. I'm okay with making $1,000, $1,500, because when I sell the car, I get paid back right away if there's a title. But with a payoff, especially right now after COVID, it takes 30 to 45 days to get a title. Well, my money's tied up longer, so then I want to make a little bit more money. But I'm transparent about the whole process.
So this is what your program's going to teach.
So whether you have any car knowledge whatsoever or you're skilled in the industry, I have current dealers that have joined the program, that I'll let them tell you why it's so valuable. And then I have people that know nothing about the automotive industry. But it's like anything else. You're going to get out of it what you put into it. So it's like I talk about, what are you willing to sacrifice? And you say the word sacrifice and everybody's like, oh my God, it's a negative word. No, sacrifice isn't a negative word. It's giving up something of a lower nature to make room for something of a greater nature. And that's all it is. And that's what success is. How much time do you spend playing video games? How much time do you spend going drinking with your friends? How much time do you spend going on vacation? If you put that time into focus, the more time you put into focus into something that can be tangible and be successful at, then that's how true success is earned. It's managing your time and sacrificing your time to where you can be successful.
That's why I don't like when people talk about others in like that kind of lens, where they're like, oh, this so-and-so has X, Y, and Z. They have no idea to the scale of work that somebody has put in to even achieve those goals. People see all the nice stuff. They see the finished product. They have no idea the amount of time, effort, and discipline it took to get the finished product.
Absolutely.
You're a literal walking attest to that. They come here, they see the buildings, the cars, everything. They're like, oh, this guy probably had, no. 25 plus years of sacrifice to get to this point.
Absolutely.
Where you can sit in this position and give your knowledge to the people. This is a privilege, what you guys don't understand. The fact that he's giving out his knowledge and his systems like that, 25 years of work to be able to get to this point.
You're aging me. You're aging me, bro. You're giving my age away. I thought we weren't going to do that.
It's experience.
I thought we weren't going to do that.
It's experience. It's experience. Not an age thing. It's good to be 25 plus years. But
You don't look any older than Joe.
I'm about to say, yeah, you kidding me? You fucking we look like the same. Are you kidding me? You probably have more hair than I do.
Bro, are you serious? I'm bald, bro. That's why I was wearing the hat. I thought you were going to put me on blast on this show. What are you doing?
You just made me put myself on blast, my own audience.
He lifted you up too high just now, so he had to go. I mean, got to balance it out.
Bring his ass down a little bit.
Yeah, I mean the simple. I feel like a lot of times the programs, the courses get a certain I don't know, perception about them. You know what I mean? But it's like, we sit here. You've got an insane business. You've got the watches, the cars, and now you're getting into it, right? You're not selling the lifestyle from the money from the course. If that makes sense.
You said it perfectly. I'm not after the money from the course. And I'm not saying there's a lot of courses out there that offer a lot of great knowledge, but that knowledge doesn't compute to making money, okay? Because it takes money to make money. Like, you can go take the best real estate courses in the world, but if you don't have the money to go start buying and flipping real estate, you could have obtained all the information, but you can't be successful at it. And that's why I'm so passionate about it. It's the first program in the world where we let you use our money to make money. We show you how to go out there and do it. You take tests throughout. It's like going to school. But then once you can buy cars from the public. You're going to set appointments. Every car that you purchase, we're going to pay you 50% commission. Industry standard is 20%, 25%. People are like, Tony, why do you pay him 50%? Because if I treat you as a partner from the get-go, then why would you ever leave? You treat people the right way, and they stay with you long-term. And that's how relationships, right? So I treat you as a partner. I pay you 50% right off of the bat. And I teach you the hardest part of the business. And I'm honest about that this is the toughest part of the business. But once you get past that, then you can do broker deals. Then you can do wholesale contracts. The biggest moneymaker in our business is dealer accounts. And you go to a dealership and you land a dealer account, and it's like they have wholesale trades that they're not going to keep. So if a store has 10 wholesale trades a month that you can buy, and let's say you average $1,000 a car, you're buying 10 cars a week, that's $10,000, that's $40,000 a month on one dealer account. So we have a member that's in the course. I mean, it took him about a year and a half to figure. He was making money the whole time, but some months he was making 15 grand, some months he was making 3 or 4 grand, some months he was making more than that. Well, now it took him about a year and a half to grasp everything, organize what he was going to go after. For the last 2 years, he makes over $500,000 a year. And then, I tell him, I'm like, you can make $1 million a year, but you play golf every single Friday. He's like, but I'm content. I have what I want. But, I talk about, I've become very religious because, God has provided all of this for me. It's like, and I have a system that, I'll share at the end, but, it's, believe in something greater than yourself. It's not us. We're given the ability to do it. And so with the members in the course, like, you have the ability, and so go out there and make it happen for yourself. But if you're not going to do it at this, if you love trading cards or you love comic books, there's a way to make money at anything. It's just researching your niche and finding a way, okay, I'm going to buy these comic books at this and I'm going to sell them for that. Like, you can make money doing this at anything. But cars, I love cars. It's, there's nothing makes me happier. I don't know what you do to de-stress or you do to de-stress, but I jump in a car, I turn on the radio, I go drive one of these beautiful cars, just wipes everything out.
I just need a straight pipe. My straight pipe this, That's all I need.
Well, your car
Window
shoots
down.
more flames than all the Aventadors out there. What are you talking about? I wanted to ask where your car's tuned.
So you want to know about my tune?
Let's hear about it.
All right, so Matt from HD Tuning, we literally sat down and like custom built a tune because he was talking to me. I was like, all right, what can we do here? He's like, well, there's what have I done and what have I not done yet? So we've done like SVJ plus on mine. So he's the way it dumps fuel when I let off the throttle because I'm not upshifting and it's dumping that. I'll literally just shift and all I got to do is just lightly tap the throttle and that's where all those flames are coming out. So HD Tuning Matt can give you more of the technical, but he did some crap on my car and it is running perfectly and loud as hell and spitting the biggest flames like you've seen.
Yeah.
The flames are like this.
How long ago did you tune it?
This has only been,
January?
maybe like 2 months.
Oh, wow.
3 months.
Okay.
It's been some time now. So
Okay.
granted, 2-3 months if for everyone that thinks that's too long or too short.
Because he had
That's a
stage
decent
1
time.
flames.
Yeah, I had baby
Since, like,
flames.
last summer?
Yeah, I had baby flames where I was like, okay, cool, this is cutesy, but I was like, no, I want some
want-
shit where if I go by
Yeah.
you and I'm spitting a flame, you're gonna freak out about it. Like
Absolutely.
it's especially how long it holds too. So Matt could give you the rundown, but it's like the craziest. We
Yeah,
literally sat there like 8 p.m. at night, and I was looking at the matrix as he's like moving numerical digits. I don't know if you guys have seen like a tune board. It's literally zeros, ones, 2s, and I'm sitting there. He's doing his thing, and I'm sitting there. You could be doing whatever. You can tell me whatever.
It's code.
It's literally code.
It's all code.
Code. Yeah, my bad. Technical terms. I'm the boomer here in the group, so it's fine. Right.
He evolved Charmander to Charizard. That's really what happened.
Wow.
That's for all you Pokemon fans out there. Yeah.
I didn't understand that reference, but I'm going to just,
Don't even worry about it. So what cars do you have right now?
little bit of everything. So I used to have 3 Aventadors. I'm down to 2. I just sold one.
These two?
These 2 here, sitting here. So I actually prefer the older Aventadors because they typically shoot more flames than the newer Aventadors.
They're louder. If you do it correctly, they're louder.
The older ones?
I've been dying to say this. People don't understand the science behind it. The SVJ with its split tips, when you have the exhaust coming out and it splits, it actually dilutes the sound. Versus having the center exit at the bottom, you can make a louder car from that because you have everything converging at one point. So it becomes louder versus having it split. So like standard S and then SV can be louder than an SVJ.
I agree.
I had to get that out.
But
there.
I feel that the LPs actually shoot bigger flames because, like I said, that's an S there. This is an LP. The LP shoots way bigger flames than the S.
Do you want to bet?
Huh?
You want to bet?
I'll bet you.
Mine's an S.
Yours is an S?
His is an S.
You have it right here. You can have what I have right here. The gateway is right here. All you need is Matt.
This thing shoots like 2-foot flames. This thing shoots like 6-foot flames.
It's Matt. I'm telling you, Matt. I don't know what he did. I don't know how he did it, but he took that and he did it on this.
Wow.
Trust me.
Wow.
I'm gonna get Tony hooked up after this.
All right,
'cause I
2
want-
Aventadors.
Well, sorry, we're getting sidetracked. So 2 Aventadors, had 3, just recently sold one. Have a couple Ferraris. Had a piece that got rid of that. Still have the Ferrari 488. Had a couple McLarens, got rid of them. Just recently got another McLaren 720. You know, it's in the shop twice as much as the Lambos, but I still love the McLarens.
Best car. Best car.
So I just got, it's
love
going to
that
be
car.
bright green and carbon fiber. Hopefully it'll be out this week.
Hell yeah.
Huge.
You know, the Ford GT was actually my first purchase originally. Bought that car for $180,000. Now it's worth $500,000. I should have bought 10 of them, right?
If only would have known.
Yeah.
If only would have known.
So, you know, the
I
collection.
wasn't stuck in soccer practice. I would have bought a few too.
You know, well, then, like we said, it takes money to make money, right?
Exactly.
That's why, you know, with the I'm switching gears on you again, but the program is like I want to see other programs, other mentorship programs create the same thing because I haven't seen it. And that's with this, with all of our current members are making money because they're using our money to make money because you're limited on how many cars you can do. But now with us, right now we're buying $7 million in cars per month.
And cycling now, huh?
It's like, well, you know, like dealer account cars. That's why it's so valuable. You don't need as much cash because if you have a working relationship with that dealer, you pay for the car once the title comes in. So if you buy $1 million worth of cars, they're going to give you the cars up front. Well, you're going to sell 70 to 80% of those cars before you have to pay for them. So every Monday, let's say you write checks every Monday. You may be writing a check for $1 or $2 million, but you've already got 1 million to 1.5 million of those cars sold.
Back.
So it comes right back within 2 to 3 days before you write that next check. So you're turning your money 3 to 4 times a month. Do you know any other business in the world you do that in? I'm looking for it still, but I haven't
Drugs.
found it. Drugs?
This might be the only other one. This is it. This is the only one that maybe you can turn those kind of numbers. But
Watches
even
or
still,
tattoos?
Watches. Okay. Watches. Sorry, watches.
Installing veneers is another one.
Okay.
Just brand me at this point. Tattoos, veneers, the whole nine. But the difference is, too, is the reason why I think yours is so special and why others don't do that is you are putting your money where your teaching is.
Right.
So you've been in the business, like I said, 25 years. There's
you
gurus and
quit
people.
saying that?
It's a good selling point. Watch, I'm selling the course as it is. The biggest thing is there's people who've been in business, whatever it is, 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And now they're selling whatever program they are on that business.
Yeah.
They haven't even gone through 1/10 of the problems that they're going to experience in that business.
Yeah.
10 years is the minimum where you're like, all right, I am an expert in this. Now I'm an expert in it. Now the next 10 years of me doing the same thing is me being an expert. Now that's when you really can run it up. 25 years, you've been through every single problem imaginable. So when you're teaching plus the money, that's why you aren't scared to put your money up. You're like, I've done this time and time again. I know what it can produce. Versus some of these other guys, like, I'll teach you the information, but there's shit that I haven't even gotten into. That's why the whole, your experience behind it is even better, because there's people who are doing the similar dynamics, other things, 2 years in experience. That's laughable, bro.
Yeah.
2 years of experience and you're trying to teach other people how to do this? You don't even know what you're doing yet.
Well, and because of some of the other programs out there, and because, you know, they gatekeep and they don't deliver, you know, people are skeptical. And that's why, like, you know, when I show the cars, I show the money, I'm not bragging. It's like, I want people, like, I tell all of my members, right? I don't know any other mentor that does this. Come right here to our office, 8250 Cerritos Avenue, Stanton, California, right here, the showrooms we're sitting in. Come and see it, come and touch it. These cars aren't rented. None of these cars have payments. Pay cash for every single one of these cars. I'm going to do a video showing the titles to them. And it's not bragging, but it's showing so people can be credible, because you're not going to put your effort into it if you can't believe in it. It's my job to show people that this is real. Put your time in. Don't put a half-ass effort into it, because you're going to get a half result. Put your time into it, and I tell you, you'll be successful 100%. And with these other programs, it's like, you know, they don't get what they're promised. And with this, I tell people, they're like, well, why, if you make all this money and you do this great, why would you teach others how to do it? Well, because I've learned as we get older, we get smarter, right? And I had that mentality, protect what I have. Don't teach people what I have, the niche that I have. Well, I've capped myself to the amount of money I can make. But now with this program, I'm not after the mentor, the monthly payments or whatever it is. Let's say I have 1,000 members and they're paying $200 a month. Okay, that's great money per month, but this is going to blow your mind. 1,000 of those, right? Paying $200 a month, and that's a lot of money for a lot of people. But if I just have 100 people in my program making 20 grand a month, and I talk about this in the course, we have members that put over 100 grand a month on the books. So 20 grand is not that difficult. If you put 20 grand a month on the books, I'm paying you 50%. I'm cutting you a check for 10 grand. Okay, let's just say I'm probably making about 7 off of you, because there's overhead costs and things of that nature that I eat up on my side. But let's just say I only make 5 grand. I like to under promise and over deliver. I'm only going to make 5 grand per member, and I have 100 members. 5 grand per member, 100 members. That's $500,000 a month. You know how hard I have to work to make $500,000 a month? No. So why am I teaching people what I do? Because the larger my program grows and the more people that are successful in it, the more money I'm going to make. I'm not after the 50 grand or 100 grand a month I make from the monthly payments. I don't give a crap about that. I care about the people that are successful in the course, because that's where my real profit comes from. The more successful you are, the more successful I'm going to come. I don't care about 100 grand a month. I want $1 million a month. I want $2 million a month. And the only way I do that is if you're successful making money. I don't know any other course that's structured that way.
So let's just say I'm brand new, right? I just signed up for Straight Up Success. What are the next steps? How do you onboard me? What happens right after?
So as soon as you sign up, you get access. So right now we're charging $150 a month. The prices are getting ready to go through the roof, because I made it cheap for everyone to have an opportunity to get in before everything was developed. So while I was building it out, if you came in and you were patient while we were building it out, then you got to reap the rewards. So right now you pay $150 a month. I have 5 stages of the course. I give you all 5 stages. All you have to do is keep your payment for $150 a month. Once we fully launch, the cheapest part to get in the course is going to be $200 a month. Then it's $3 grand, $7,500, $10 grand, and you have to buy every course up. So you're going to be making money, but then once you've made 10 grand, okay, you want to start doing level 2, you're going to have to pay that $3,000 one time, right? So right now it's $150 a month, and then you get okay, Goxy Dealer is a software that I give you. If you go get it on your own, it's $300 a month, okay? Yours free, okay? Carfax is $800 a month. You join our course, you get unlimited Carfaxes to run, included for your $150 a month. Manheim Access is normally a fee of $1,200 to $1,400 a year. It's included in your membership. I'm literally giving you value of over $1,400 a month for your $150 a month. I challenge any other program to show me greater value that they give you tools to use and be successful for $150 a month.
That's your investment in these people.
That I'm giving you more than what you're paying. Now, eventually, when you come in and it's all developed out, you're going to be paying for it because I'm giving you so much value. But right now, and that's the problem. It's so cheap, people don't believe it. But they're going to believe it when the price is $3,000 and $5,000, and they're going to pay it because this is going to be the only program to where you can make that kind of money, you know, using our money. I mean, it takes money to make money. But then as you onboard, you have 24 video course. You get a full course curriculum. We give you scripts to use. We show you how to work your leads, how to enter them, the follow-up system. I mean, you know, the percentages, like, I am honest. I don't sugarcoat anything. On your first initial point of contact, talking to a client, you're going to close less than 10% of your deals. Where you close most of your deals is the follow-up. That's why the software is so important, being organized, following up, because everyone thinks their car is worth more money than what it is, right? You go to sell your Aventador. Okay, maybe it's worth 300 grand, but you're going to put it up for 350. We all think it's worth more. But then what happens? When we can't sell it for 350 and the phone's not ringing, then we're going to lower it. We're going to lower it. And then the tire kickers, the low ball offers, the scammers. Then we're going to say, I don't want to deal with this. I'm just going to sell it to someone. So the follow-up is where it's at. The first call is initiating contact and building a relationship. Because why? We do business with people we have a relationship with. So when I call you and I say, Joe, why are you selling your car? Oh, you know what? I'm getting a new one. I've had this one for 2 years, this and that. I'm taking notes on all of that. Why? Because when I follow up with Joe, I'm going to say, hey, Joe, this is Tony with CarPayday.com. Remember we talked, you're getting rid of it for this, this, and this. I had an Aventador. Oh, yeah, Tony. You instantly feel more comfortable to do business with me because I've reminded you we've already had a conversation. Just like when we meet people, we're a little standoffish the first time we meet them. See them second, third, fourth time. We instantly feel more comfortable around them. It's the same way we do business. So your percentages go up on the follow-up. I have members that buy cars 45 days later. And the car, and I tell them, members are like, well, it's priced, MMR is 40,000, they're asking 50. That means I got to buy it for 35 because it's MMR is 40. Those are the ones I call. The ones that are outrageously priced where most normal people are scared to call on that. Oh, there's no way they'll ever sell to me. Bullshit. I'm going to be the only one calling them. And when the phone's not ringing off the hook, hey, Joe, listen, your car's a little overpriced. The market, Manheim's the biggest auction company in the world. They do it best. They say your car's worth this. I want to pay you the most amount of money I can. I send you the MMR because transparency is everything. And I say, hey, you see it's Manheim, and you research Manheim. They're the biggest one. Manheim says it's only worth 35 grand. Well, what's going to happen in a month? 3 weeks, you didn't sell it. You know what? Tony was very professional. He didn't lowball me. He had to offer me market analysis off of Manheim. I'm going to call Tony back, and because you know what? He was professional. He's offering me a good offer, and I'm going to sell him the car. And that's how you make money in this business. But I give you the template, but it's up to you to take action and do it. And you're going to make money if you do it. It's that simple.
I would sell you my car, you know. I would 100%. One of the things I wanted to circle back to, because it sounds like it's a crucial part of the operation. You talk about these rehabilitation facilities. Talk to us more about that. What exactly are we talking about here?
So a lot of people think, before I do that, a lot of people think you can go get your dealer's license on your own, right? But then you're going to have all your own fees and everything else. Well, then when you buy a car, you got to transport your own car. You got to recondition, fix your own car. You got to get your own lane placement at Manheim. You got to get your own CR report. So that all takes time, right? So if you're taking time doing all those things, how many cars can you sell? How many deals can you find? Well, now that everything's been developed over 25 years, as Joe's pointed out, right, that now you use the system that's already been developed. So now we take care of the transportation. We take care of your reconditioning. So what does that free up? Time. Time is money. So now you can focus time on finding more deals. The more deals you find, the more money you're going to make. It's a match made in heaven. Because if you do it on your own, are you going to make more money per unit? Absolutely. But how many units are you going to be able to do? The more units you do, the more money you're going to make. It's that simple. I mean, it's not rocket science. I'm not blowing smoke up anybody's ass. I'm just honest with you. And that's why it's so valuable, because let's say that you make $2,000 a car. If you're doing everything yourself, how many cars are you going to be able to do? 5, 10 a month.
If you're lucky, yeah.
But you have this well-oiled machine that does it all for you. You can buy 20, 30, 40, 50 cars a month. Well, what's going to happen? Your profit margins are going to increase because we're limited. If we try to do it all ourselves, we're limited to our ability. If we have a team, we're limited to our team's ability. And that's why relationships and partnerships are so important.
Going back to my rehabilitation question too.
So the rehabilitation question. So ask it one more time because I lost it.
You could sell everything. I'm telling you, man. You're like a walking quote book. I love it, dude. The question was, what exactly is the rehabilitation? I guess let's start here. Let me ask a better question. What does a rehab process look like on a car?
So when you get a car, when I look to purchase a car, I'm looking to see if it has any paint work. Okay. So you own a body shop, right? What's the best way to tell if a car's painted?
How?
So we're going to touch the edges because the best body shops in the world, I'm going to touch all the cracks and edges, the top of the hood, the edges of the door, and open them. Why? Because the best body shop in the world, nobody sands the edges. It takes too much time and it's too costly. So if you touch the edge of a car, if it's rough, then it's been repainted because when it comes factory, the edges aren't rough. So we teach you the ways to do it by hand, or that we tell you the proper paint meter to buy to where you can paint meter the car, how to read the paint meter easy to tell if a car's been repainted. Does it have curved wheels? If a car has curved wheels, it's going to hurt the CR 0.2 to 0.3. We know that we can have a curved wheel fixed for $35 a wheel, where a franchise store is going to be $100, $150 a wheel. So it's literally, we know what needs to be in the right place to get the highest score. And we need every car to score over a 3.5 to maximize its profit margins because the franchise dealers are the ones that are going to pay the most for that car if it's a retailable car. And they're not going to buy a car that's less than a 3.5. Why? Because their reconditioning costs are too high. So that's why it's so important to develop your reconditioning and to fix it as cheap as possible. Mechanical, so like we talk about it, right? When you look at a car, are there any lights on the dash? There are no lights on the dash. Is the heater and air conditioning work? The other one is making sure the sunroof or moon roof works because those things are thousands of dollars to fix.
Oh my God, they're a bitch. Oh my God. That's like one of the most hidden things. People are like, oh, it doesn't work. Like, no, if you need a replacement on that, you're cooked. The deal's cooked. It's done.
Absolutely. I mean, you used to be able to get the parts to replace it, but now they make you buy the whole unit.
Whole assembly now.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's the most pain in the ass thing. Every time I see a car, I see that, I'm like, fuck, I don't want anything to do with that. I don't want anything to do with that car.
You got a Nissan Murano convertible and it needs a new convertible roof, and the OEM doesn't have any more. They're done. They're out.
It's done so.
So what are you doing?
It's cooked.
Yeah.
So you have built these centers that specialize in this process specifically, down to the T of what is needed for the score that you're saying.
Yeah, so the car, it runs like a conveyor belt, right? Cars come in, they get dropped off from the transport company, they go in, they get detailed, and then they get inspected. Does it have curved wheels? Does it need any paint touch-up? Does it need any mechanical touch-up? Gets everything done to where we make sure it's going to score a 3.5 or higher. It gets a condition report, and then it's off to the auction. All of our cars are at the auction by Friday to run on Tuesday or the following Thursday.
So what are the biggest, let's say, what are the three most important things you're looking at for the rehabilitation process, reconditioning process?
Well, the better condition the car is in, the less we have to do. So then the faster we're going to make money. So I'd rather buy a car that's in perfect condition and make less money with it because then I'm going to be able to sell it faster. Like I have a Chevy Equinox I mentioned earlier that a client just bought, but the MMR on it's $16,000, but it had not nice words keyed into the side of it. It had a dent on the back, so it had to go to our paint shop. And what do we say? You can have fast, you can have, cheap, and you can have good, but you can't have all three. Well, our painter, I hope he's not watching this, but our painter's not the fastest, but he's good and he's cheap. So this car's been at paint for a month. So it's taken a $1,000 book drop. So it's going to be a month and a half before I sell it, but it's still going to make $5,000 because we bought it right. So I'd rather make $1,000 because, like I said, it ties up the money. If I can turn that money 3 or 4 times, and I'm making $1,000 a car, I'm going to make $4,000 versus, okay, so if I'm not going to make $4,000 on that one car being tied up for a month and a half, it doesn't make sense. So everything's logic. That's where, like you say, like, I don't make any emotional decisions. I love all cars, but I don't fall in love with anything.
100%.
Has to be bought right, have to be in it right. That S that you're sitting next to right there, the guy had to free up cash quickly. I could pay him cash. Bought that car for $320,000, still worth around $400,000. And I've had it for 2 years.
Steel.
So the white one that's sitting behind you, it was not running. So everyone was scared to buy it. Scared money don't make money. So I said, look, worst case scenario, It needs a transmission. It needs an engine. All it needed was an e-gear pump and something else. $10,000. I bought that Aventador behind you for 180 grand.
What?
That's such a steal.
For
But
real.
It's not common knowledge to know that. To be able to see a car like this scale and have those problems, 99% of people don't even know how to touch this damn thing. They don't know that it's quite simple when you really get down into it. It's just like all the other cars, but they see Lamborghini, Aventador, like, oh crap, I don't want to touch this thing. These things are actually quite simple to a certain scale, to the right person.
The first exotic car, I think anybody, it's my humble opinion, the first exotic car anyone should own is the Lamborghini Huracan. It's the Honda of the exotic car community.
100%.
I used to take mine to Jiffy Lube to get the oil changed. It lasted forever, so you can beat on it like a Honda. I think everybody's entry level should be a Huracan. And if you're in our program for 6 months, I have a special treat for those people. So I have a member in Vegas now. He was in for 6 months. I gave him our rental program. So I have a guaranteed rental program, a grandfather clause with a certain company, so you get a higher percentage. And I literally tell my members, you've been in the program for 6 months, I will give you 2 cars to buy. If you do not make money on those cars, renting those cars out to where they pay for themselves and it's free for you to own it, then I will buy the cars back and guarantee you don't lose any money. So, and literally he never thought he could own, he has an Audi R8, he has a BMW, he has about 4 cars now. He's averaging about $8,000 a month, and then the cars are free for him to drive on the days that they're not rented. So, but you have to be in the, like I said, I reward loyalty with some of the secrets in the trade. So you have to be in the program for at least 6 months, and then I give you that little tool. And you're driving your exotic car for free. There's another one, I'm bringing cars, it's about to be over, so I could talk about it right now. Buying cars in Canada, 30% of the US dollar. I just did a video of buying a Hellcat over there for $40,000, brought it here, but when a car is brand new and you import it from Canada, it has to have at least 7,000 miles on it. I drove that Hellcat for $5,000, bought it with $2,000, put 7,000 miles on it. Had fun driving it, good time, transportation. I turned around and sold it, still made an $8,000 profit. There's a niche to this business. There's 100 different ways to make money. You pick the one that works for you, and then you follow.
We've now covered 6. So you were really taking your Huracan to Jiffy Lube.
Jiffy Lube, to get more oil changed.
And they never, how would they respond?
They couldn't believe that I was coming. They didn't want the liability. So I had to find one that I said, look, I will not hold you personally responsible for anything else. I was doing YouTube at the time. So I haven't done YouTube for several years because I was on a Netflix show, and it was, had an exclusion for that I couldn't do YouTube anymore. So I've been thinking about getting back into it. I don't know now that I'm not doing the Netflix thing anymore, but I was doing YouTube videos. Hey, take it to Jiffy Lube. Hey, let's go out and do this, and just beat on it, and so show how resilient the Lamborghini Huracan was.
I think people underestimate that platform. Like, the people we know, but at the same time, like, it really is the fucking Honda of all supercars.
It's an Audi. It's an Audi.
Well, let me ask you guys a question. How much do you think a 40,000-mile Lamborghini Huracan's worth?
How much do I think it's worth?
Yeah, what would you pay for a 40,000-mile Lamborghini Huracan?
Are we talking like
trim
580?
Yeah, just 580, cheap one. The cheapest
580, 40,000 mile, 580, 160.
Okay.
I would go lower than that. I'd say let's say 120.
Okay. So you're actually right on the money right there. So like literally, guys, like you are correct. They're for sale. You hit the nail on that. You both did. For sale
On
the
Auto
street,
Trader.
On Auto Trader,
160.
they're 160.
Okay.
They're 155. But what people don't realize at the auction, like I've only seen one in the 120s, but 130. So this is where we tell people, like within the program, we broker deals as well. We take people to the dealer-only auction, buy your car where the dealers get their cars, and we're typically saving you 10 to 40%. We charge you a flat fee. So but people don't know the markup on vehicles.
Want another little story?
Let's do it.
Just had a friend. He was showing us, he works at a shop, was showing us a 650S, they had on a lift, 650S, Spider, 20,000 miles, okay? It was at auction, would not turn on, and this guy bought it. What do you think he paid for it? 650S, Spider.
650S
with
Spider.
20,000 miles.
What year?
I think it was a 16.
I'm guessing he paid a little under 100 grand.
More than a little under.
He stole this thing.
He stole it?
$70,000.
Okay.
Because it would start.
Okay.
Took it in. They said it's got about $8,000 worth of work. So he's in it for 78. What is retail on something like that?
Oh God, what 130, 140?
It's wild, huh?
I mean,
Just
those are
because
the best deals.
McLaren that won't start, no one wanted to touch it.
Absolutely.
And He picked it
biggest
up,
risks are the biggest rewards.
put $8,000 in it, and he's going to make an easy 40 grand on that car.
Absolutely.
I would struggle to sell it. I would want to just keep it and drive it, but
Well, there's a catch-22 like this one, right? During COVID, I should have sold this one. It was $460,000. Now it's what, 400, 390 if I wanted. I mean, I'm still going to make money. Don't get me wrong, you know. But
you enjoyed it. You
Oh, I
networked
love it. Yeah, I enjoy it. You know, and like they all get a little love, so then I don't put too many miles on any one specific one.
So,
So-
you got to have multiple.
You got to have
I've
multiple.
been trying to tell everybody this. You need
I have
6 to 7.
Ferraris, I have Lamborghinis, I got another McLaren back in the garage. I got the GT, and then I got SUVs, trucks. Sold the Cullinan, sold the Urus. I need another Urus. I think the Urus is the best SUV out there.
Really?
It's the Honda of the super SUV platform. It's literally the Huracan.
what makes it
Hell,
the
that-
best?
Just because it's comfortable. So we're big guys, right? You know, so it's like it's comfortable to drive, and then you still have the performance. You can take it on a rally. You can do all that. That's what Cullinans are comfortable, but you're not taking that on a rally. It's a tank. It's not going to handle the turns very well. There's not a lot of performance to it. So the well-rounded vehicle, Lamborghini Huracan. It's true.
Very true. You lower it, maybe wide body it, put some nice wheels on it, tune it. That's a nice
I
one.
don't know. I'm a little partial to the 707 these days.
The 707.
The DBX 707.
Whoa, okay. Okay, we got an Austin.
Never
Martin
driven
guy.
one. I've driven a Urus, but something about, I mean, it's a beautiful car. It's different than what everyone else is
How much
driving.
cheaper are those?
They finally fixed the interior. It's not horrible anymore. How much cheaper are they? I mean, new they're like $250. The used ones, the problem is they just fixed the interior. So if you're buying a used one, you get a horrible, outdated system. But those go for like $140.
Obviously, that Aston Martin depreciation has to hit
Heavy.
those things heavy. So
Heavy.
you probably pick those up for dirt cheap.
And you're talking about $140 for like 10,000 miles.
Still an Aston Martin, though.
Well, that's why Lamborghini Urus is, right? I got rid of my Urus, paid $250 for it. I sold it for $225, so lost a little bit of money. But like right now, the same Urus is being offered back to me for $155,000 a year later. Like
Wow.
literally, like I've been watching the Uruses, the high mileage Uruses, 120, 130 at auction. I'm like,
They're kind of bulletproof, too. I just worked on one that had 60,000 miles. I could not believe it.
It's an
Really?
Audi. What do you mean?
It is.
I
It's
just-
an Audi
I-
platform.
the same
It
thing,
is.
like,
If
it's
you
one
saw
of
a
those things where
Q8
you-
with 60,000 miles, would you be blown away?
Well,
no.
no. I know. But
It's
even I
literally a
fall
cute-
trapped to the whole lure. Like when I see the bull on the steering wheel, I'm just like, why do you have 60,000 miles on you? Like
Yeah.
you just feel like you're being mistreated. Like you need to be loved and cared. You should have 10 to 18,000 miles on you. So I saw 60 and I drove it. I was like, this fucking thing drives exactly how it should be at 60,000 miles. Those things probably have 100K worth of lifetime. 100K miles easy worth of lifetime.
I love the guys that drive their cars. You know,
100%.
cars are meant to be driven. The worst thing for anything is to sit. The hoses get hardened. You know, like I said, they're meant to be
Seals dry
driven.
up.
Yeah,
everything
they
else
should all
you
be
can-
straight up driven.
Straight up driven. I
Straight
like
up
that.
driven.
I like that. Straight up driven. 100%.
That was perfect.
Boom,
That was
like that.
perfect.
Before you guys leave, I'm slapping stickers on your car.
So with the tariffs that were just announced,
Yeah.
what do you think that's going to do to the used car market?
All right, so you guys are getting some insider information. All right, like very insider. So this weekend, Toyota store, one of my Toyota stores, they sold over 100 cars. Okay, because what are people doing? Right, they're going out and they're buying the cars because now the tariffs, the prices are going to go through the roof.
And they're all
now-
emailing them. My wife got an email from the dealer she bought her car from. It's a great time. You could probably get a lot for your car. We'll get you in a new one.
Yeah, because what's going to happen to the used car market? So I'm telling everybody, like we're running cars tomorrow at the auction, and if they're not bringing way over, like normally we average about 110% of MMR, but if we're not getting 120, 130% of MMR, I'm not even going to sell cars tomorrow because I think literally in the next 2 to 3 weeks we're going to see a 15 to 20% increase in used car value at the auction. Because what happens if they don't have the new cars to sell? What's going to go? What the only option you have is a used car,
Like
and
COVID.
then with the tariffs and everything else, so. I think it's a great time we were joking about it today. It's a great time to be a wholesaler, you know, in this business because now, you know, like going after a dealer account. So if you can source cars, because dealers are going to need retailable inventory. Well, if you're bringing them cars and saying, hey, I can sell you this car, I'm going to give you 1 gold bar, but you got to give me 3 silver bars back, which means I'm going to give you this retailable car, but you're going to have to sell me 3 wholesale cars. Well, now you're making money, sourcing a car for them, you're doing them a service, and you're going to make money on the wholesale. Now it's the time to where, you know, there's some, you know, you earn your value with your stores because a lot of people aren't giving that extra value, and that's how you go land a dealer account.
I think that's one of the things people miss, like they don't understand about a true working relationship is there has to be value provided on both sides. They want to make money. They think, okay, let me just suck as much from one side as possible so I can leverage it to make my margin. But you have to have a give and take because there might be a unit specifically you're like, all right, well, I didn't do maybe exactly what I wanted to, but that unit set you up for the next 5 that you're really going to kill it on. So it's the overall big picture as you're going through things rather than just looking at each individual unit per price tag.
Absolutely.
When you're dealing with somebody like a dealer like that.
Absolutely. Well, and I talk about this, some of the younger guys in the program that have dealer accounts, they go in the dealer accounts and they say, Tony, we don't want to run their cars at the auction because we offer remarketing, which means the dealers can run in our lane. We tell them we offer 110% of MMR, we handle their arbitrations, everything else. Well, we don't make any money if they sell the cars in our lane, right? But my members are like, well, why would I do that? Well, because if they're going to wholesale 10 cars, right, they're not all going to be winners. But if you say run them at the auction, so we're maximizing your store profits. I'm putting the store first, the client first. You're going to keep that client over a long term. So let's just say that you buy all 10. Let's just say you only average $500 a car. 10 cars, $500, $5,000, okay? Well, the auction's only good for 60 or 70% on average to sell the cars, right? And the cars that don't sell, there's a reason why. Low CR, mechanical problem, whatever else. So if you send 10 cars and you're a Range Rover store, you sell 7. Well, what does that mean about the other 3? That means the other 3 I'm going to be able to buy cheaper because there's a reason they didn't sell. So if I can buy those cars cheaper, and then we specialize in reconditioning, now our profit margins just went up. Let's say we make $2,000 a car. Well, on 3 cars, now I made $6,000 versus buying 10 cars, and I only made $5,000. And then now I've got 10 cars to deal with. Well, now I'm dealing with less cars. Again, I've increased my profit margins. So now I can buy more vehicles at a higher profit margin. What's going to happen? We're going to make more money. But people can't get past the fact, no. The more I buy, the more money I'm going to make. That doesn't work. And so, but I'm giving away a lot of the secrets in any of the businesses, but it's finding the value. It's not always how many. It's, maximizing the profit per unit and then focusing on developing that unit. And then you're also making the store the most amount of money because you're saying, hey, run your cars. And if the car, I don't want to make 10 grand off of you. So if you make 20 grand, well, what are they going to do for you if you're taking care of them? They're going to make sure you make money on those other deals.
The good news is no matter how many secrets you give away on this, whoever's listening still needs you.
100%.
All you're doing is just making the lure bigger.
When are we going fishing?
Whenever you want.
Oh, we fishing too.
Well,
Fishing, auction.
We have a boat in Huntington Beach. We have a boat in Cabo. So anytime you guys want to go.
Oh, Cabo, done. Whenever you want, totally done. We'll do a 3-day on that one. I'm so done.
I'm there.
I want
Easy
to do
money.
bonita fishing in the Gulf. We could talk about that later.
Well, August is going to be the big bluefin right out here. We go 50 miles out. We'll catch 200-300 pound bluefin too.
Oh, I'm all in on that.
Let's do it.
Let's flash freeze it. Get some sashimi going.
Do the whole 9.
Right there on the boat.
I'm down for it. So let's say you're a listener of ours and you're watching this episode right now and they wanted to join your program. Where would they go to right now when this airs, probably a couple weeks from this moment?
Well, you could go to our Instagram, Straightup Driven, STR, the number 8, UP Driven, and then there's a link right through our Instagram. Or you can go to www.straightupstr, the number 8, UP Driven, success.com. So straightupdrivensuccess.com or Straightup Driven on IG. You look for the SD with the up arrow, and it's got a lot of the cars in there. We go out and play on the weekends. Your network is your net worth. That's why we get the cars out. That's why you and me are sitting here. Our network is our net worth.
Yeah.
How did we meet?
Saw you pulling in
At
cars and
events.
coffee at the.
trying to think of what car
Do you still have that Huracan? The crazy one?
The
Yes,
twin
Steve?
turbo? Yeah, it's in the next building. We couldn't fit all the cars in one building.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still have that.
What a problem.
So you sold your Pista. I got a question for you.
Yes.
Supercar related.
Okay.
I love the business.
Okay.
But another piece, I started a supercar podcast, so this is what I'm into.
Okay.
So you've got Lambos, Ferraris, and McLarens. You've kind of got it all.
Yes.
So when you're going to grab the keys for a car, what is the reason for you picking the Lambo versus the McLaren versus the Ferrari?
So every car has a specific purpose, because I get the question, what car is your favorite? And I no longer have a favorite. But it's what purpose, okay? So if we're just going out and driving to the Aventadors, there's a lot more Huracans out there. So then I'll take the Aventadors. And they sound better with the V12, the flames. Now, if we're going to be doing freeways and things like that, I want to take the twin turbo Lamborghini because I'm competitive. I don't want somebody to pull up and blow the doors off, right? And then if we're going on a long drive or rally, I'm going to take a vehicle that's a little bit more comfortable. The McLaren is just, I think it's one of the most comfortable cars for taller guys because I have to slouch the worst in the Aventador. I have a little bit more headroom in the Huracan Coupe. I can't even fit in a Huracan Spider.
I mean, I'm like this.
Yeah. Oh, bro, bugs hit me in the face.
It's so wild. Is it not the same car?
No, you lose so much leg room in the Huracan.
But it makes no sense to me.
But the Aventador, convertible, the Roadster, right? I should know this. I'm the car guy. The Aventador Roadster, same leg room as the Coupe.
Yeah.
So it's just like, but something with the Huracan, they needed to eat up some of that leg room for that convertible top, I guess.
It's cooked.
Yeah.
But yeah, so every car has a specific purpose, and so it just depends on what I'm doing. I'm not taking the twin turbo in the canyons if we're hitting the canyons. A lot of people don't like the Aventadors, but I love the all-wheel drive in the canyons. But yeah, every car has a specific purpose, so it just depends on what I'm doing that day.
You want to know why he likes Ferrari too? And nobody's ever said this, but I can attest to this. I know it's in his head. The way that the center console and the dash are built on the Ferrari is such a relief. When you've been in the Aventador all day and you're literally sitting in like your little channel and you go in the Ferrari and your knee could just kind of hang out over here, it's literally heaven sent. That's the only reason why I want a Ferrari.
You have more legroom.
That's it. That's all I want. Just so it's open, it's nice and luxurious in there. Versus the Aventador, I literally feel like I'm in a cockpit.
I'm slouched down. Yeah, same thing.
I hate it. I love it, but I hate it.
I love it. Aventadors are still, like I said, the sound, the outline of the car, just the body lines, beautiful. But it's also 4 times the amount of a Huracan. You get a transmission that goes bad in the Aventador, $80,000. Huracan, what, 15 grand?
Did you watch our clip today?
I did not want to, but did you guys cover this? Oh, okay.
It's like the biggest
Aventador,
thing.
yeah, the Aventador transmissions.
The time bomb is kind of ticking on these cars. Like the 10-year-old Aventadors, most common problem that's happening are the...
Well, I'm honestly surprised there hasn't been I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm surprised there hasn't been a massive lawsuit because of all the transmission.
We just talked about that. That's coming out next
week. That's literally
next week.
Like literally
from this point moment. Yes, literally.
To have that many. So
it's a design flaw.
When this comes out, it'll be like last week or 2 weeks ago. The episode.
Okay.
If you're listening to this,
You
our
already
episode
saw
1
it.
or 2
Yeah,
weeks
You
ago.
already talked about this. Go to the Margarian Law episode and we can talk about this.
yes. The lemon law episode.
Yeah.
We talk about literally a class action lawsuit for the
Because we were
Aventadors.
talking conversation and the gentleman was talking about a class action lawsuit he did against, I don't know, was it BMW?
A lot. He's done a lot of class
Yeah,
action
a bunch of
lawsuits
stuff.
for aliens
So
manufacturers.
we're sitting there, we're like, I wonder if anybody's going to do a class
And he's got an
action lawsuit.
Aventador. We're sitting in front of his Aventador. I'm like, do you know about the transmission issue with these Aventadors?
And he's like, no, please tell me.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. So we filled them all in, and I was like, we just need 10%.
We'll talk after the show.
So,
We just need 10% of
so
your
he's going to
settlement.
be the leader of all of us. Okay, perfect.
We'll talk
Yeah.
after the show.
I have 4 or 5 friends that have already had.
We'll talk.
Okay.
We'll make it happen.
As long as we figure out how to get our little piece of this pie.
There's
Hey,
there's
10%.
figuring out. It's
10% right off the top.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah, exactly. It's easy.
You set
Industry
him up.
standard is 2025.
Set him
So,
up,
come
and
on.
we connect him with people. Yeah, this is easy. Hey,
He sets it up. He's already.
SCC
don't leave
in,
him
the,
alone.
in the law game, baby. Making money. There's 100 ways to make money in this business. We've now
100%.
covered 7.
Guys, look, if you want to recoup the money on your transmission, you're going to pay this fee. We get you, and so we've already got it set up. We've got the right guy handling the case. I mean, hey, you get what you pay for.
100%.
So you have a client right here. Like,
Let's do it.
I'm signing right up. I'm paying my money.
I'm telling you. It's
I got 2 Aventadors, and there's a reason why I got rid of the third one.
I can only imagine.
Did you know? So this is another thing we were just told. Did you know that the transmission, they used to charge like $35,000,
Yep.
and now it's $85,000?
Yep.
That's not inflation.
No, not at all.
That's an opportunity, is
Yeah.
what that is.
Well, and then you spend $35,000 on a used one now, and then you're buying one with the same damn problem, and then you have no recourse to get your money back. Because then they say, oh, no, you damaged it. It was in perfectly good shape.
You're screwed. Especially if you don't have the knowledge, actually like the repair knowledge of it. You're giving your car to someone to do it. You have no idea what they're doing to your car. You have no idea what's actually happening. That's the will. The knowledge is the power behind anything in life. So you got to actually know what's going on. That's why I hate anytime I can't do something on my car, which is not that often. When I have to give it to somebody, I hate that feeling.
You work on your own car?
From time to time. Not that much. Not
My
that much.
hat off to you. I was
Not
like,
that
respect.
much. Not that much. I'm a
No,
princess.
don't give him. No, he does not
I'm
deserve
in a
the
collision
respect.
center and my hands look like this. So I promise. Yeah, exactly. I don't touch the shit. But from
that
time to
tattoo
time,
smeared?
I'll at least, for example, it goes somewhere where I know them and we're the same level. We're friends, so we'll work on it together. I'll watch them do it versus just blindly giving my car away for days. I'm like, I can't imagine somewhere that I don't trust. On top of that too, fuck that. There's no shot.
Hey, we put a new transmission in your car.
Yeah, I'm sure you did, buddy. Thank you. My shit's gonna get cooked.
You better paid for it.
This is the same thing we were talking about. What kills me, everybody that knows and watches this, I'm an avid Porsche hater. Avid, right?
Okay, so why do you hate Porsches?
Oh, can I finish my thing before I get there? I'll circle back, Tony. Let me finish my sentence.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
That was a bold statement, bro. All right, I had to
I'll get
question
there.
it.
I'll
Which,
circle
by
back.
the way,
I'll circle
I haven't
back.
heard you mention Porsche one time.
I do not. Okay.
There's a
That's
reason.
why I wanted to know his answer
There's a
first.
reason.
There is a reason.
I'll circle back.
Okay.
So I don't know exactly the years, time, whatever, blah, blah, blah. He knows it more than I do. But there was a time where the 3.8 liter engines in the GT3s were going bad. Porsche got ahead of it. They put a 10-year warranty. Correct me if I'm wrong at any point in this. Put a 10-year warranty on that, and they started replacing those 3.8s that had problems with the 4.0s that were out on the current cars. No cost to the owner. That's what a good brand does. Granted, I just almost threw up saying that out loud right now for a Porsche, but they got ahead of the problem. Lamborghini knows this is happening, and they're choosing to just
Mark it up.
and just try to suck every dollar out of people like that. That's how you get people to turn away from your brand.
Absolutely.
And they go to other brands. To finish what you were saying, the reason why I don't like Porsche, there's a couple reasons, but I'll say the flat out reason. The money that I'm spending on that car, there's a million different options that are more exciting, fast, fun in every single price point that I would rather have. Like, are you picking this or are you picking what would even be in a comparison? Not even a brand new Turbo S. What, a GT2 RS? Not even, right?
GT3 RS.
GT3 RS, a GT3 RS or this?
So may I give you my humble opinion?
100%.
All right. So I agree with part of what you said. So you said specifically that you think there's a lot better cars, speed, racing, blah, 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 for the price. I disagree with, and here's the deal. Porsches are great race cars. They're great track cars. But the part that I do agree, and you hit it 100% on the head, the nail right on the head, is they don't get the respect that they deserve. And we talked about it. The cars are an asset. They're a networking tool. So if I'm going to spend $400,000 on that asset, but it's not respected the way it should, it doesn't have the credibility that it should, then it's a bad use of my money. Now, if I'm going to the track and I'm using the Porsche is a great car, hands down. The only car better on the track is the Senna. Okay, so the Senna is the best track car out there. I challenge anybody to say anything different. Okay, I have some great friends that have some of the fastest track times, and the Senna is even over the Porsche, the best car on the track. Now, the second best car is a Porsche. Okay, I can't take anything away from it, racing and everything else, but it does not get the respect that it deserves. So that's why you do not see a Porsche in my collection. I will not overpay for something that does not get the proper value or have the right networking ability, because it's a waste of money.
I respect that. That is the very respectable, correct answer. There is no way in hell I'm paying $400K for a fucking Volkswagen Beetle. There's no way in hell when I can have this, where I get out and when I go like this and my shit pops up like that, there's no way.
Nobody asked me.
I would like your opinion on the Porsche.
That's okay.
Do you agree with him, or do you?
Last time I gave my opinion without anybody asking, I got returned with, "Who asked?"
I would never say that.
No, I know. We were having a good time. Anyway, so
That
that was his favorite moment ever.
Favorite moment ever.
Someone said that to me. Okay, so Porsche, I think is, well, one, I like Porsche. I like the cars. The problem with me has always been what else you can get for the money. So I'm never going to like trash a Porsche. There's a couple that I would love to have as like the fourth car in my garage when I can afford to have that many cars in my garage. Make sense?
Absolutely.
But I think I just came to the realization that they make the best sports car in the world. The best sports car. And now we're trying to compare them to supercars. And that's you're playing a different game. Because now you're playing with excitement, respect, attention, all that stuff. Those are two different categories. But everyone's trying to merge those two things, Porsche and the supercar world, compare these to that. It's like, okay, you care about track times and the best car on the track, and I care about loud and exciting and fun and doors and attention, and
We're attention horse on this side.
Yeah.
Very much. So. I can't lie to you. I can't.
I love the honesty.
I love it. My shit's loud. It's everything. We're
So I love
attention
the cars, but no matter what Porsche you put in front of me, whatever that car costs, I can find another car that I'd rather have. That's it.
So out of all of our breakdowns, his was the most well-spoken. You know what I'm saying? You know when you have that moment when you're like, okay, I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I just had that moment right now. You know what I'm saying?
No shot.
He's the
shot.
he's the polished, very knowledgeable side of Supercar Connection. I'm the more raw, unfiltered edge side of it. So you have both blends.
You guys complement each other.
You've
very
got
well.
you're over there. You got your doctorate in automotive business, and
No.
He just called you the smartest guy in the world.
I have trial and
The
error.
fuck does that make me?
he just wrote the. He literally
Does that
wrote
make
the
me- I'm over
book
here in third place.
of automotive business proverbs, and
No,
The book of Straightup Driven.
You're giving,
Literally.
you're giving me credit I don't deserve. Like what it is if you never quit, you never fail. So I talked to if you never quit, right? You keep learning and learning and learning. Well, you learn until the L becomes silent. Mm-hmm. Would you take the L out of learn?
Earning, motherfucker.
unless we're talking about drugs,
Then you'll learn.
if you never quit drugs,
Then you'll learn.
Well, I don't recommend drugs, alcohol.
Anything else in between.
that's the only thing that breaks that rule. But yes, no, that's just a joke, obviously.
Well, I have a little outline if I may share it with you guys. Of
course.
An outline?
So, yeah, I actually saved it in my phone because I want to make sure I get this completely right.
Perfect. Let's do it.
Okay, so this is the outline that we're going to lead with Straight Up Driven Success. It's going to be grow every single day. Number one, spiritually. Believe in something greater than yourself. Okay? Number two, mentally. Strong mind and determination, anything is possible. Never quit equals never fail. Physically, health is wealth. Number four, relationally, your network is your net worth. And then number five is financially, do all of the above and this one will come. So grow every single day in this order and success is guaranteed in my opinion.
So for those 5 things, there's 5 things I think.
5 things, yes.
Can you go down each point and just give us like one thing to pursue that thing? Does that make sense? So grow spiritually every day. What's one practice to grow spiritually every day?
Like how you would do
The
it.
next thing, what's one practice?
does
So
Tony
for me,
Nino do those
for
5
me,
pillars?
it's God and Jesus. I'm a Christian, and I've overcome so many things in my life, so many hardships, and so many things. I hit a car head on in a motorcycle at 80 miles an hour. I survived. My youngest brother bought him a motorcycle for his 18th birthday. He died 2 weeks later on it. Why did my younger brother die? Why am I still here? God had a purpose. So there's a lot of things that have happened in my life that I've been able to overcome that I have to believe that God has a purpose for me. And then I've done a lot of terrible things in my life when I was younger. I've made a lot of mistakes. Well, why was I given all of this? Why was I rewarded with all of this? Well, the Bible says if you have the ability to provide for 5 generations, then you should. So who am I to say when enough is enough? And then now with this program, it's like, it's not just my generation, it's helping others build the same. If you're willing to work for it, sacrifice for it, and those things, and it's not these objects that we're going after. Time is more valuable than money. But with the proper amount of time focused, you're going to make money to where then it's going to create more freedom and time for you to do what you want to do, right? Because the world operates on money, unfortunately. So for me, it's that one. But the one that I focus on the most is, a lot of you may not know, is literally a year and a half ago, I was 350 pounds. I got comfortable in life. I, was just unhappy, and I was making a bunch of money, and I was good, and I became lazy. And literally, when we got ready to start doing this program about a year and a half ago, I said, nobody's going to want to listen to someone that's fat, obese, and that I can't even take care of myself, but I'm going to take care of everybody else. So in a year and a half, I've lost almost 100 pounds.
Hell yeah.
Went from 350 pounds to 257 pounds. And it's just like, I have one of the worst genetics out there, I think. But if I can do it, anybody can do it. And health is wealth. Because I've done that, I'm clearer minded, I'm more focused. I'm up 3:30 in the morning. I'm in the gym by 4:30. I work out. I'm ready to hit it. I'm at 8 o'clock, I'm doing business deals. So the more hours in the day, it's another thing that I say, it's not about the hours in the day. It's about the work you do in the hours. So you can't tell me you work 8 hours, but you only did 30 leads in 8 hours. But the guy that only worked 4 hours and did 80 leads is going to be more successful. So it's about the work that we do in the hours, not the hours in the work. And so for me, it's health. Health is wealth. If you're going to get healthy and you're going to take care of yourself first, then you're going to be more productive. You're going to be more successful. Mentally strong. You have to be mentally strong in whatever you're going to do to be successful, in my humble opinion.
It's the correct opinion. You look fantastic, by the way.
The what?
You look fantastic.
Thank you, bro.
It's fucking awesome.
Thank you. God
that like
bless,
resonates with me. To lose all that weight, that's difficult. You can conquer obesity, you can conquer anything.
Yes.
That's the hardest thing to conquer.
Yeah. And people like, oh, your diet, no, diet is 70, 80% of it. But Monday through Friday, just eat less than a certain amount of calories, eat a certain amount of protein, and on the weekends, I eat. Yesterday I had, chicken parmesan, spaghetti. I mean, I carb load on the weekends, but it's just, like I said, giving up something of a greater nature giving up something of a lower nature make room for something of a greater nature.
The Olive Garden tour of Italy?
Oh, that sounds good.
No. There's nothing good about Olive Garden.
What's your favorite restaurant?
Favorite restaurant? Wow, that's a good one.
I'm going to judge you off this answer.
Okay, so I'm all about value, right? So we're going to show my cheapness.
Jesus Christ.
All right, we're going to show my cheapness.
I already know where this is going.
So in Newport Beach, Sugarfish.
Oh,
Sugarfish is
huge.
the best value for the money you're spending.
it really is.
It really is.
It really is. It's insane.
I don't even think it doesn't need to be value for the money. I think that is the best sushi place you could possibly go to.
I mean,
Fuck the
but
value
it's
for the
also
money.
very
I don't know about
It's-
that.
Exactly.
I don't know. You can go to what?
Go ahead, because you're about to sound some crazy shit right now. So
You can go to Asanebo in Studio City and spend $200 a person.
don't start with me.
It's going to be better,
It's
but you're
not
going to spend
better.
$200 a
It's
person.
not
It's gonna
Is
be
it
better?
4 times better? No,
Okay.
it'll be
He's
better,
full of shit.
but it won't be
So-
4
Okay.
times better.
Now, if you're in Vegas, go to the rooftop of Fontainebleau. They have a very private sushi restaurant. It's on the rooftop. Okay. They only have seats for 10 or 12 people. So for 2 people, I think it's $1,500-$1,600. And it's some of the rarest sushi, and it's incredible.
Mm-hmm.
But for the amount of money that you're spending, for what you're getting, I break down everything like that.
Well, it's exponential. So there's a value, especially with I love food, but there's a value you're getting, right? And as you get the higher and higher quality, you're carving out a smaller and smaller niche of people. That's why in Japan they can sell a strawberry for $300. And we look at the $20 strawberry at Erewhon from Japan. I'm like, oh my gosh, who would buy $20 strawberry? Well, there's some billionaire Japanese guy who's just buying cases of $300 a strawberries because they taste that much better. You know?
But do they really?
I mean, apparently. I don't know. But I love Sugarfish. Sorry. I'm not disagreeing
No,
with you.
Nozawa knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
Nozawa
Sugarfish
knows
is
what
one of
the
my
fuck he's
favorites.
doing.
I go there all the time. Catch me at Sportsman's Lodge. I love it.
You could not have said a better answer to that question.
Thank you.
I was like, I told you I was going to judge you off that thing. That was the best answer you possibly could have given.
Thank
That
you.
made it
Sub
warm
C
my heart.
bream for base scallop, and
Ooh.
you're set.
Okay, no, what is it? God, you put me on the spot now. I can't do it. The albacore.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Please tell him.
Albacore's
Please
perfect.
tell him. Please tell him.
Most places, albacore is not the best fish.
Mm-hmm.
Sugarfish, it's the best one.
oh, with the sauce. Oh,
The
we,
ponzu.
we built a big of our relationship off of that restaurant. And then one day I text him, I'm like, you realize the best thing there is the albacore. And he's like, is it? And then like 2 weeks later, we hadn't talked about this. He just texted me, he goes, albacore really is the best thing that
really
Sugarfish
is
has.
good.
What the fuck did that come up
but the sea bream's good too. Like, but
Everything.
the albacore, that
I
sauce.
sub-
Bro,
the
the
sea
sweet
bream.
shrimp. You don't even know about that. I'm putting you on game right now. Sweet shrimp, go.
The salmon with the toasted sesame seeds is a perfect balance as well.
Salmon with the toasted. I haven't had the salmon with the toasted sesame. No, I have. Yeah. And a lot of salmon is very fishy. That theirs is not fishy at all.
Not at all.
Okay, so we're going to Sugarfish after this.
Yeah. Warm rice on cold fish. You're welcome. That's it.
Every piece, every bite. Sometimes I eat it with my eyes closed.
So are we investing in Sugarfish?
Just
might as well. We
Just to
should open
fully
up another
experience
location.
every bite. You know, especially you have to with the albacore. You have to just close your eyes so you shut out the visual impairment. You really experience it all.
Should we round this up in the guest
Yeah,
question?
maybe so.
Let's do it. Every guest gets the same 3 questions. Okay. We don't
Okay.
prep you for this because I like to see your raw answers. So Susanna, kill me.
I
later
tweaked
for
the
this.
last
Yeah.
one. I meant to tell you this.
Huh.
I hope you're okay with it.
That's fine.
Do you want me to run it or do you want to
No,
stick
you
it?
got executive.
Okay.
You got executive power. I don't care.
Dude, he's smiling. That makes me a little nervous.
No.
I don't even know what it's going to be. I'm
all
terrified.
good.
Okay.
You can rip the first one. You normal.
Where's the first one? Okay. What's the most overrated car today?
Overrated car.
Overrated. Overhyped, overrated? What's the most overrated, overhyped car? Overpriced car? However you interpret that. You can interpret it however you
I
want.
love cars. I don't know how I would answer that.
Hey, I love cars too, but there's cars that are overpriced. There's cars that are overhyped.
Very true.
There's cars that are overrated. I appreciate every car to a certain level,
I don't.
but that doesn't mean that some are just
The
getting more than they
overhyped car.
deserve.
I'm biased as hell, so I'm not like you. I'm biased.
Okay, the
Yeah.
most over, and I love Elon Musk, but is this Cybertruck? The Cybertruck. I love Elon Musk. I love Donald Trump. But the Cybertruck is just over $150,000, and now I'm seeing them at auction for 70, 80 grand.
It
Like
hurts.
I couldn't. Yeah.
I respect that.
What about the change in those Hummer EVs?
Well, you can get one on lease now for $700.
They're giving them away. They literally are giving them away. You walk by a GM dealership, they're pulling your ass in there. Like, no,
They're
take
handing
one,
out-
please
Now,
leave with
hey,
this.
if they're
Leave
giving
with
it
this.
away, I'm taking one.
100%.
Okay, I will take one.
I'll
They're
still-
handing
take
out
them all day long.
paper coupons out the front of the dealer.
Literally.
Well, and talking about EVs, but as soon as they get to 500-600 miles per charge, I mean, for
They're gonna be worth it.
driving around, yeah.
If you
They're going to
have-
get beyond that
100%.
pretty quickly, I
Yeah.
think.
Well, then it makes sense. I just don't want to go to my Palm Springs office and I got to stop and charge for 30 minutes, and I can't do it.
If you have a suitable home charging situation and the cars get to 500 miles of charge, it will start to eat up actual market share, what they expect it to do. Because if I can go home every night, plug in the morning, unplug, and I got 500 miles every single fucking day, why the fuck would I go to a gas station? Why do I even want, like, for example, picture this in your head. I'm going to paint a picture for everybody, okay? You have your car, your supercars, right? All of a sudden, you're like, okay, well, I got to get my lady something, right? Do I want my lady going to the gas station ever? That's the way I am. I don't. If I can just have a home charger she can plug in and unplug, she never has to worry about going to the gas station. That alone, for someone like me, I'm like, it's worth it. Plus
No.
the 500 miles? Are you kidding me? On top of that, what the fuck do I need anything else for? But that
No,
guy-
it's mainly for the safety issues, right?
100%.
People get, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I don't want to be going to the gas station. I even hate going to the gas station. Because then I go in the gas station, one of these, and I got some guy coming up to me, he's like, hey, what's up with the car? I'm like, yeah, man, it's a great car. Let's check it out. Well,
Then on top of that, best rollover rating of all time.
that's true. It's very true.
Yeah.
What is the
All way to
most
the bottom.
underrated car today?
Underrated car today. Wow. I was like, I just answered that one. No, you switched it up on me. Most underrated car today.
Yeah,
Wow,
this one's
good ones.
This one's tougher.
It is a lot tougher.
Underrated.
This is, but you love everything. So what do you think doesn't get the most love publicly? That you are like, this car fucks. Why does it not get enough love?
Maybe the Porsche doesn't get the attention that it deserves. You were just saying that.
Don't
Well-
go too deep.
You know, the underrated car. God, this is a tough one.
But look at the springs on this.
Yeah, I know this thing's a fucking behemoth. I've been staring. Every time I look at him, I can't help but think it's looking at me as I'm looking at it.
You keep thinking about underrated. We'll keep them distracted.
Underrated
On the
car.
internet.
God, I can't.
Got to keep Adam
Jesus.
distracted.
Underrated car. You know, I'm going to say, because it's dropping so much in price, is the McLaren. You know, I think, like, you know, really drive it has a lot of problems, a lot of electrical issues, a lot of gremlins, but the drivability of the, you know, for a big guy, you know, the space that I have in it and the power that it has, power to weight ratio and everything else, I think it's, you know, for what they're, you know, dropping in price, it's underrated for
How
sure.
about that visibility?
Stupid. Oh my god, I love that shit.
Best visibility in the game.
I'm gonna drop a little nugget for people that really understand cars. They'll understand what I'm saying. People see a McLaren. Okay, let's say I'm looking at a 720, right? And there's a 2023 with 2,000 miles. They're like, that's the one to buy. Versus a 2020 with 12,000 miles. What people don't realize is the 2020 with 12,000 miles has more than likely gone through a lot of the gremlins and has had the shit replaced and fixed to where that car is probably gonna last you longer versus the 2,000 mile one that has yet to even crack any of the gremlins.
Okay.
So the right McLaren, if you can see the history and you see maybe a CPO'd, it's already been through, upgraded its fucking coolant lines, it's got its accumulators upgraded, all that shit, that's a better purchase than a brand new McLaren.
Your roof panel's already cracked.
Exactly. Yeah, you already changed it to the carbon fiber. 'Cause I don't have to look up and see cracks in my damn roof.
Or it's
Those are
just
the
cracked.
ones to go get.
And then the seller goes, oh, they're all cracked. They all do this. It's all good. They all crack.
It's a factory. Factory.
I don't disagree because you said 2020 or newer, because we all know.
Before that, I don't give a fuck what it is.
So
We all know.
It's still my screensaver. My 2018 McLaren was but it got 28,000 miles, and everybody's 18 and 19s were blowing up. So I was like, full riff kit. That was one of my,
Is that Aston Martin back there?
It actually is. I did have an Aston Martin. I don't have any in the collection anymore.
It's okay.
But I did have one. That's why when you said, and I saw you pull up, and you're Austin.
Right. Well, I only have it because it's all I can afford at the moment. But I do love it. It's beautiful. Last question. Wait. Did we answer it?
Yeah.
The McLaren 720,
McLarens, yeah.
which I agree with. Amazing car. Amazing car.
How many people on the show have said McLaren?
Well,
For that question, not a ton.
Our last guest actually said the 720 was the most overrated car.
I'm usually the one shoving that down somebody's throat. Like the 720 being the most underrated best car, I'm usually like fucking trying to jam it through. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. This is the answer.
I'm glad I can see. That's why we're right
I'm
here.
telling you, it's
we're
right
right here.
always.
Okay.
I love it. That's why I'm over here. No, I'm kidding. I do love the 720. It drives perfect and it's really comfortable, like you had mentioned.
Or it's fast as fuck. Like people don't
It's
realize
fast.
how fast that thing. Again, 710, 3,000 pounds, whatever. Go ahead.
Great rally car.
I'm going to make a bold statement right now. For the price, fastest production car for the money.
Is the McLaren 720?
Anything else compared? Name me a car that's faster.
Right now.
Right
now.
now.
What price are we-
Fastest
what-
car for the money.
6
What-
months, different answer will be the correct answer. But
What price are
Correct.
you putting it at? 200?
250?
What's a
Well,
20?
let's
What's
say-
a 2020 sell for
Let's
retail?
say 250 or less.
250.
Best,
250 or
fastest
less.
production car you can buy for 250,000.
Right now, that is the correct answer. 6 months from now, that answer will change. But you are
Really? So
100%
what,
Maybe 8 months.
Give us the.
If anybody's not aware, the Corvette ZR1 is coming out soon. That'll be the #1 best budget, price, fast production, whatever the hell you want to call it, in existence. That's 1,000 horsepower for under 250,000.
And it's like 800
And
pounds heavier.
And it literally goes 0 to 60 in what, like 2.3 or something like that.
But look at how far the price dropped on the Corvettes. You don't think the same thing's going to happen?
No,
with
I'm not
Z06?
saying
The
that.
ZR1 is beating
I'm
some
not
Senate
saying-
times at tracks.
Are they really?
And they're not even they're not even like the track drivers. They're the engineers going to the tracks and beating them by 4 seconds.
Okay, exotic car brands, we got to step up our game. We can't.
I'm telling you, just wait. It's okay. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. My day will come. I promise you. My day will
He's
come.
been waiting
I've
for this.
waiting
He's
for
been
this
waiting
fucking
for the
day.
Chevy.
Are you
to be
getting a
the top.
Corvette?
I have a Z06.
I've always seen you in your Lamborghini.
Because I'm in the Lamb all the time. I still have one.
He's not going to pull up to any car event in the Z06.
Exactly. Because
When
again,
was the last time you drove it?
fuck, it's been a minute. My old man drives the shit out of it. Like
Okay.
that's like his car. Like he drives the fuck out of it. But
Okay.
it goes back to this thing too. When I go to events, which is mainly where you guys see me at, am I going to bring the Z06 with the respect that garners, or am I going to bring this with the respect that this garners?
Absolutely.
That's why you don't ever see me. But when I want to actually have a really good, enjoyable drive, I'll pop the roof off, even though it's not a convertible. I'll put it in the back thing, and I will rip that 5.5 liter flat plane all day long and just let it. Because that car I can throw around too. The Aventador, you can drive it, but you can't really throw it around. The Z06, oh, fucking throw that thing around. It's like when you have that car, it's like the ugly stepchild that I'm just like, let's just whip this thing and go crazy, and I'll just drive the hell out of it. The ZR1 is going to be a better version of that. Just wait.
I can still see your face looking over at me the first time you ripped down the street in that car.
It was all the excitement.
You ripped and just looked over at me. No, I'm just-
I haven't seen him smile so much until he started talking about the Corvette. Look at it.
Oh.
Like, that's just so, like, passion. You can't fake that.
We're talking years.
Yeah, it's
Decades.
Yes. So my
25 years of passion.
You know how you're talking about your dad
Corvette.
was classics? My old man was Corvette specifically. Like he's had one like as I was growing up, he had a different version. So that was like, I was brainwashed. I've had, what I do to people with Corvette, I've had done to me since I was literally this big. Wow. So I'm biased to that. But now they're mid-engine, they're fast as hell, they're the best budget price thing. I'm like, now I'm just becoming a salesman at this point. I'm a spokesman. They should just sponsor me, give me a ZR1, and let me just produce content with it. But that's a whole different conversation. We'll talk about that later, Chevy.
Someone put us in contact with Chevy.
I have 4 Chevy stores. I'll put in a good word for you.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I
gotcha.
would like an allocation.
Gotcha.
Not over market, though. I need it at MSRP. But yeah, go ahead.
Last question. This way. You ready for this one?
Yeah.
So 3-car garage. Okay. That's all you get. And
Okay.
you got way more than that, so it's time to whittle it down.
Okay.
You need something with 4 doors.
Okay.
something under $1 million,
Okay.
and then the third one can be over $1 million
Okay.
if you want it to be.
You made this so much better.
This one I can answer really fast.
Go ahead.
So 4 doors, Lamborghini Urus. Okay. Something under $1 million is going to be the Aventador, and then over $1 million is going to be a Senna.
Okay, so you got your track weapon, your showstopper, and your grocery getter. Not a bad fucking garage.
Yeah,
Tony.
that's a
pretty
nice
dialed in.
rounded out little lineup.
That was a straight up perfect garage.
I know.
Straight up perfect.
Not a lot of thought had to be had. I'm not used to them just ripping it so fast. Nice.
Well, I've been fortunate enough that I've gotten to drive many cars, so I kind of know, like, hey, look, I want this, I like this.
You know what you want.
He's a man, knows what he wants. Exactly.
Yeah,
Beat me
yeah,
to
yeah.
it. Fucking
God bless. God bless.
But this has been a great episode. We appreciate you taking the time out. This is very meaningful to us. I've been wanting to do this for a very long time, so I appreciate it tremendously. And then you want to plug your socials one more time for everybody so they know how to reach you?
So yeah, guys, Straightup Driven. So STR, the number 8, UP Driven, and Straightup Driven Success. So there's room for all of us to grow. Don't take my word for it. Come and see it for yourself. You can come here to the shop. You can come to the reconditioning facility. You can come to the office in Palm Springs. I have nothing to hide. Come and see it for yourself. Seeing is believing. And I really am grateful for you guys coming out and having me on the show. I really am very humbled to be here talking with you guys. Very knowledgeable. And, I really appreciate being here.
Of course.
Yeah, you're the knowledgeable one. So this was fun. I should have been taking notes.
Before we end, I'm talking shit. I got to talk to production before we do this. Maybe we'll film. Can we film at Manheim?
So they won't let us come in with cameras, but they have a no filming policy, but I'm going to get in trouble for this.
You're Tony
But
Nino, though.
they allow me to film with my phones.
Right, exactly. You're
So,
Tony Nino.
so
We'll
we
make
can
it
film
happen.
with the phones. We
All
can
right,
film
perfect.
with the phones.
Hopefully we'll get some more content. We'll go with Tony to a Manheim day and we'll fucking
Let's
film
do
a
it.
whole day, and you can walk us through the process of how someone in Straight Up Success will be able to do the same thing.
So if we get good reviews with this, I already have an idea, something very special for the next episode that I've looked through your episodes that I've never seen. So because I love doing things that make a statement. So we will do something that makes a statement. And with that something that makes a statement, there will be a special giveaway for someone with them. Because I always believe you reward loyalty, and you guys, loyal followers, have to be rewarded every once in a while.
Let's do it.
Wow.
I can't wait for fucking part 2 then.
Love it, love it, love it.
This is Supercar Connection.
We're out.